That's from the old one.
Hello, everyone. I am Alex.
Hi, I am Mariella.
Yeah, and we are here today, just in that shadow side of the full moon in Taurus we just experienced, and all the other shifts and changes, the exciting and interesting and confusing and powerful shifts and changes we're experiencing. Yay. So we're here today to talk about some of that energy and some of the astrology and do some intuitive card pulling to support the next month kind of unfolding before us. So, yeah, Mariella.
What?
Everybody, we're wearing the same color. How lovely is that?
Yeah, because Alex wanted to match me.
Yes, 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 I do. So we had this like beautiful, I call it beautiful. It was a beautiful full moon. And I don't just mean like
It
visual.
was.
But there was like a lot going on, and so we just had like Saturn turn direct in Pisces. We have the ending bits, like we recently had Saturn, sorry, not Saturn, Pluto go direct in Capricorn, and now it's moving out of Capricorn for its final time. So we have like these big things, and Venus is doing something amazing, and Jupiter is doing something amazing. We're moving into Sagittarius, which is amazing. So we have a lot of these wonderful things that are unfolding amongst the intensity of Uranus and Aquarius and all those wonderful life-changing signs that are shifting right now. So, how has that been showing up for you, Mariella?
Okay, so it has been intense for some time. I believe um it has been since probably the end of last year.
Mm,
And so there must be a conjunction that is getting all over for this year, all that energy in there. But it's ending soon, it seems.
like on the Aries Aries Libra axis, right?
Mm,
Eclipse
yeah.
the final touch into the Aries Libra energy. And now we're going to be moving out, and the nodes are going to be Pisces and Virgo. Is that where we're moving to? No. That will be.
I don't know.
What's the opposing to Pisces?
But you know what? Pluto is transiting out of Capricorn, and we can feel that energy as well because it's the last stage, right? It's at 29 degrees and
Mm,
moving towards what is it
num-
called? Aquarius.
yeah. Yeah, this whole year it's been like beginnings, endings, beginnings, endings, beginnings, endings, beginnings, endings.
Yeah. And we are in the endings side right now.
Yeah.
And so I know that this transition doesn't mean that when Pluto enters Aquarius, that will be it, because then the new energy is coming in and this energy is new. So many more changes will come. So
Mhm.
we will be having to adjust to this new energy and have a feel of it, right? Because we don't know it yet.
Mhm.
And so I'm very excited. But I have been feeling, I was telling Alex that there was some of this energy inside myself that I think other people and the world might be feeling as well. That my old self was struggling with letting the new energy in, or the new people or ideas or the new ways to come
Mhm.
in, because I am so used to this is the way. and we were talking about we need a certificate, for example, to be able to do something, work hard. And this new energy is going to be faster and lighter, easier. And that's what the new generations will know, not what we knew before. And so
Mhm.
they are really like swimming in their pool, right? In their water, easy. We are in that generation where we knew what was before and what is coming. We feel the difference.
Mhm. Totally, yes.
I'm so excited to see what's next. I know that it's not going to be easy.
No. Do you remember the last
Changes,
time we were excited? I know I remind everybody this all the time. The last time we were really excited about the change?
yes. We were
Couple
so excited, and then our program where we worked together ended, and then COVID came, and we
months.
were learning new things all of a sudden because we had no other way.
Mhm. Yep. Yeah, so I'm excited as well. Super excited to see what happens. So many new beginnings, which means endings, like you said, and that can be really hard for people, but I feel like the last few years have all been just leading us up to this, being able to be with uncertainty, being able to move through these challenges that come and go and arise, really asking us to like, because that the whole Taurus Uranus conjunct that's been happening since COVID um, has been, or opposition, or whatever the right words are, um, has been asking us to look at our values, like look at these things,
Yeah.
like going on. And and then of course it was in the north, it was in like the north and south node as well, um, just before this one,
Hmm.
Aries in Libra. So it's been like us, we've been looking at like what are our values. So it's like if you're not aligned, you're gonna be suffering. And
Yes.
you are on the path of alignment, not perfection. But if you're on the path of alignment, then things will be unfolding quickly, but you might have be able to keep more steady.
Yeah. And you have to remember that as we are human, we cannot be aligned 100% all the time.
Mm.
And we might be aligned with the energy in a moment, but not aligned with the new energy in another moment. And
Hmm.
so we will be balancing and trying to figure out what was our new, what is our new.
Hmm. Exactly. What is our new? Because that's the scariest part of stepping into the new aspects of self.
We
This
have
letting,
no idea.
yeah. If people think letting go is the hard part, I don't know anymore. Letting go is,
It is hard, Alex. I mean, not all the time. It doesn't, it's not about everything, but uh, like, for example, if an earthquake comes and destroys your house, of
mm,
course, that would be hard.
of course.
Um, but just, I was thinking, you know how the Buddhists have these um, way of thinking where you can trust past this reality if you get rid of attachments.
Hmm.
And so in your mind, you create this framework of I'm not attached to this, I'm not attached to this, I'm not attached to this. And you do everything you can, but eventually you will know that you have so many things inside anyways that you don't know about yourself. And the new energy that is coming supposedly is about transparency and knowing the truth. And so many things are going to come at us and hit us in the face.
Hmm.
And then we will say, yes, I I thought that I was going with this energy, but then what do I do with this?
Hmm.
And it is so exciting because every time you see something new about yourself, you're growing, and then you find so many other gifts that you didn't know about.
Hmm. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. I agree with that. And like just to add on to like all this is going to happen. And so when you mentioned the Buddhist path, like the idea is life is suffering. Like we are meant to feel the ups and downs of life, right? That is just this human form. But our attachment to it is what creates suffering. And so that's where acceptance comes in. So, like, yes, grieve, feel the sadness, feel the loss, feel the devastation, feel the hurt, feel it, accept that that's what's going on, because acceptance is the piece that allows us to see it for what it truly is and then let it go. So, the idea of suffering is our mind is what creates the suffering because we attach ourselves. We either are trying to push something away that we don't want, or we're trying to grasp at something that we do want. And so that's the idea of attachment is like grasping or pushing a preferred sensation or feeling or state, not being able to accept and just be present with what is. And I feel like the last few years have been forcing us to slow down, forcing us to
Hmm.
tune in and turn in with, I think of all the isolation, just with all the changes, us having to understand ourselves better to be able to function in this world and then step back into the world in a new way. That like we've had to accept so many things. We can resist as well. We can resist. But in terms of like, okay, this is where we're at. Okay, this is where we're at. Okay, this too. This too. I always love Ram Dass when he's like, so. I'm like, oh yes, Ram Dass. So. Kind of like, and this too. Yes, this too. So that acceptance piece, I feel like is something we've been trying to learn or has been put in our path for so long that now we're really going to get to feel it. Whether the acceptance is stepping into the new beginning and having to take the new steps, or if it's going to be having to like experience loss and endings in certain ways that we didn't expect.
Yeah, and compassion.
Hmm. Yeah. For ourselves, for everyone else.
Yeah, that's the some of the Buddhist ways, right?
Loving kindness, loving compassion.
Yeah. But on the other hand, I've heard um, that the energy is going to be mm, there's abundance, but in
Mm.
another way, not as we know it. And so I want to see that as well. I want to know what it means. Um, because we are not going to sit in so much materialness in the future.
Hmm.
And so what does that look like?
Hmm.
And this full moon in on the 15th that we just passed uh, was on Terrace, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and so for many of the astrologers and intuitive people that are on YouTube, they were saying this is the moment. And also with the portal on November 11th,
Mm, right.
um,
Okay.
that is the moment where you have to really know as much as you can. What do you want for the future? Because now is the time when everything is going to be like engineered
Hmm.
in
Yeah.
our minds
Higher level.
before it becomes real. So what
So,
do we
Mariana,
want?
what is it that makes you feel most alive or most aligned in life right now?
Most alive or alive? Give me a second. You go first. Probably you've thought about it.
Yes, I think about it. So when I feel alive, I'm like really excited. So first of all, talking to you, Mariella, always makes
Mm,
me
we
alive.
like that. Yeah.
Um, Meeting other people who feel the same way, like,
Mhm.
about or who are into the same things is like for me, that's personal growth. Like when people are on their journey and like we're supporting each other and like growing, I really love that stuff. Pushing my comfort zone, understanding myself a little bit deeper through that, that lights me up and makes me excited. Getting to be on other people's journeys and like witnessing their growth, but also like being able to hold space and encourage that growth, those growth edges, because they're uncomfortable and scary, and we can do it together.
Mm,
And that excites me, lights me up, makes me feel alive. Dancing makes me feel alive. Music, eating good food makes me so happy. um, yeah, letting go into fear a little bit or into vulnerability feels really alive.
mm. Yeah, I know you like that.
Mhm.
Okay, let me try. So, things that make me alive is having all the time in the world to do whatever I want.
Mm.
Um, Also, not having to follow some of the structures that feel that are not needed.
Mm.
Like I feel sometimes I am so much more than all these requirements, and you're not going to know ever with all these requirements, let's say like tests or certifications and all these things, how and what I really know and what I am.
Mhm.
Um, I like to talk to people mm, that are, I don't know, it doesn't matter really if they believe what I believe, but when you have that connection, like you said, like, that we have that connection and um, there's other people, but I really get excited to know what people really are. I
Mm.
love doing that and getting out all the goodness they have inside, even if they look like they're these things in the outside, just
Mm.
in the appearance. Um, there's so much more inside. And animals, I love animals. I love having walks, um, touching the water, touching the grass.
Mm.
Okay, we can leave it there. I can go on and on and on.
Yeah. I think that's the idea is like the more alive we feel or the more aligned we feel, the more gratitude we will have for everything that is, and that's the abundance.
Mhm.
And then we'll generate more of it. Like
Yes,
there's
and
like a layer, you know.
also realizing that everything in front of you is wonderful, right?
We wanted it. That's why we have it.
Everything, like every little thing.
Mhm.
It can be
Mhm.
annoyed, but everything is there for you.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Mariella, we pulled some cards, or you've pulled some cards.
Yes,
So,
I have some cards.
did you
Did you
pull?
get any cards?
I haven't pulled any yet. I was going to kind of just grab the one closest to me as you talk about whatever you've pulled for.
Hmm. Okay, so I was telling Alex I got three sets of cards, one that is talking about what we have gone through, the energy in general, or a piece of it probably. We cannot talk about everything. It will take a long time. But also, I have another group of cards that is talking about what is going on for us right now, and one that talks about the future after um, November 19th, when Pluto is transitioning to Aquarius. So, but it will go up until December 31st because I feel like 2025 is a whole different story.
Mm-hmm.
And
Truth.
so, energy that we are letting go or is passing is Narcissus. You know Narcissus, right?
Ah, no, I don't. Narcissus?
Narcissus.
Is that like
So, from his name comes the word narcissist,
okay,
is Narcissus. And
interesting.
so, he, the story goes that when one day when he saw his reflection as a mirror in a lake or in a river, he saw himself, right? And he thought he was the most beautiful thing he has ever seen in his whole life. And then he could not stop looking at himself.
Mm.
I don't remember the rest of the story,
But
but
didn't he
uh,
die?
sorry,
Didn't he die? Like he was trying to do something and to his own detriment, like died or something? I don't remember.
probably. Let me see. I have it here. Um, yeah, he fell in love with his own reflection. Poor guy. And so, yeah, I don't have like the whole story here, sadly, but it means vanity, grandiosity, self-obsessed, and maybe we have been doing that for a long time. Like even when I think of humans, right, and we haven't really been acknowledging other living beings
Mm-hmm.
and not just talking about the living beings that we know, but also the ones that we haven't addressed that, like for example, ETs,
Mm-hmm.
extraterrestrials. But it just it gets to my heart that we have been abusing as a human species nature, like the earth and the air and animals, plants, playing with them however we want, not really interested in if we're damaging them, if they're hurt, if we're destroying the balance.
Yeah, like not
And
respecting or understanding, like we're not even interested.
no, we were just self-focused.
Mm-hmm.
Humans, we are it. And we like, sorry for the religious thoughts, but just thinking that you are the main and that you can do whatever you want because you are the son of God and the rest is under. Um, and so that is one of the energies that we're going to let go. I'm so excited.
Oh, we are letting go of that. So if you think of like the Capricorn and like going into the Aquarius, Aquarius is about our authentic self, so a unique self. So yes, we need to have a level of narcissism, but we need to be we're part of the collective, and the new Aquarian piece is that collective aspect. So I'm like, yay, that's exactly perfect. I love it.
Yeah. And so that one came with the card taking risks.
Oh, okay.
And
Mm-hmm.
so it just comes to mind like with what I said before. and we just thinking about ourselves as a human species and not on everything. Um, we have gone far. We
Hmm.
have gone high, and I am just thinking of the climate right now and how things have affected, like everything that we have done has a consequence. And so we have taken risks and we are looking at what we have done right now,
Yeah,
right?
I'm gonna face those consequences.
And this is what we have done. And so looking back, then for the present, like what are we going to do about it? How are we going to change? I have this sense from people that are intuitives in YouTube that um, our energy matches everybody's energy, including the earth, right?
Hmm.
And so in every second we have, we make decisions in our head. And as long as we can change our energy to an energy that matches happiness or collaboration, the oneness, generosity, all the good things that we want, then it will match the earth as well.
Hmm.
And it will give us what we saw.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so for the present,
Resume.
and so in the present, we have Action. Do you know about him?
No, but it sounds like he's about action.
Okay, good guess. And then going forward.
Oh, we're taking action.
So that is for today, like for now. Maybe for the full moon in Taurus,
Hmm.
which was so beautiful and so full.
Hmm.
So Action was the young huntsman who had the misfortune to come across the goddess Artemis bathing naked in a lake. As punishment, she turned him into stag and he was set upon his own hounds. And so listen to this, the meaning of the card. It talks about as putting too much attention on others or the outside of ourselves, because too much of that will cause problems as well. And it says it indicates that you need to tread carefully on your actions, or your actions could be your own undoing.
Hmm.
So there's two things, and coming from what we said about the energy in the past, then I feel like being one is thinking of how can I be caring about others, but also not being the ones who are comparing to each other and looking at what separates us. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
And in social media, you can see a lot of that.
Yes, 100%.
And then you have a headache, you want to go to sleep, you feel depressed, you feel less than the others,
Yeah.
or you feel like I am better than the other ones.
Mm. Yeah, they're better than me, you're
Um,
better than them. Why them? Why not me? I feel that.
and yes, and that mirrors what we talked about, Alex, about this week as comparing to others.
Mm.
And like, how do we combine our abilities and our knowledge and all our strengths as a species, as a whole collective, right? because we all have something to share, but like the old energy was telling us, um, you have to compete, you have to be the best, you have to get the certifications, you have to, um, so that you can be somebody.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so then we're moving forward. And so action talks about punishment, I don't know what it means,
Hmm.
voyeurism,
Mhm.
curiosity, and downfall. So if we continued on the path that we were,
Yeah.
probably we would destroy ourselves, everything. And
Yeah.
so we should be happy that Aquarius is coming in to save us.
Yes.
And then for the future, and then I'll let you talk, Alex, with all
Sure.
your beautiful insights. I got the centaur, which
Mm.
is the same sign or symbol for Sagittarius, which is coming soon in November 21st. And we'll
Mhm.
be there for 1 month or
Yeah.
one lunar cycle. Um,
Yeah, till the solstice.
and yes, and the keywords are travel, freedom of spirit, and force of nature.
Mm.
Um, and so for people that don't know the center centaurs were hybrid creatures from classical mythology. They had the body and hindquarters of a horse with the head, arms, and torso of a man. They were skilled in archery, astrology, and magic. They moved in herds and were said to read to stars to gain insights and prophecy. And so, Alex, you were saying that all these energy of magic, intuition, sixth sense is going to be expansive
Mhm.
with the energy of Aquarius.
Yeah.
Um, and then I got the card release
Oh,
and excites me, frightens me a little bit because as we get together and we create a new world, we are going to be releasing everything that we don't need. And
yeah.
part of that would be uh, not focusing on ourselves anymore because, or as humans, just us, but also not comparing to others or not looking at others being outside of ourselves.
Mhm. Kind of like that self-centeredness of self with in relation to others. Mhm.
Hmm. Yeah. Your turn.
Mm. Well, I loved that was like Mariella. I just want to be like, if anybody wants to have a reading with Mariella, she is amazing with her intuitive card capacity. I just love it. But as you were mentioning what each of the cards were that you were going to be pulling, is when I pulled some cards. So I'm really curious about your interpretation because Mariella, I really do value yours. So when you said what we're letting go of, and then I'm like, okay.
What
So I
is
got
that?
the Sacred Union.
Mm, upside down.
Got it upside down though. So this is from the Wisdom of Hidden Realms deck. You're
Yes.
familiar with Mariella.
Hmm.
So I got this upside down. So that means it's a challenger, but it's around um yeah, situations that will cause more aggravation and drama than you can handle.
Let
So
it go.
yeah, so this idea that we're releasing these old karmic relationships or maybe things that aren't aligned with us anymore, particularly in the relationship realm, because it says partnership and romance. But I think we're also shifting our idea of relationships. Um, that
Mm,
the old way of knowing relationships is changed. And that's really challenging our collective. Like so as a single person and as a single
yes.
who is open to dating and things like that.
also being part of a couple. That would change.
Yeah, all that is kind of shifting and changing as we're moving more into this collective idea and new ideas and new possibilities um, of what being in relationship even means. So I think there's like this expansive nature that's taking place. I'm not saying that sacred unions aren't important and all that stuff, but I think we have to let go of what hasn't been aligned and really step out of that. And then you said the next one was for the present, and I got this card. So the Ace of Cups upside down.
Mm.
So tell me about that, Mariella. You're very on point with the tarot.
Can what comes to my head is because we're talking about release and letting go.
No, but
Do you,
this is if this is the present, which could be release and letting go, but
no, no, yes, yes. I'm just saying like because my what we were talking about before and the connection with this because this is the Ace of Cups, right? And so and as you can see, the hands are holding the space for love and heart.
Mm.
And I'm and because it came upside down, or
Yeah.
you showed it upside down at the beginning, right? Uh, I'm just feeling like many people are, and including me in some ways, are so afraid of love and loving and being loved.
Hmm.
Um, is what the card is telling me, and you can tell me what the card is telling you. But we need to release and let go of all the fears around love.
Hmm.
Because the other thing that we are going to transition from is being in our heads
Hmm.
all the time and looking at the brain or the mind separate from the heart. And no, everything is connected. And
Hmm.
the other thing is the heart is the center, right? And
Hmm.
so um, looking at things from the heart will make us look at each other as one, I believe. And so we do have to release that feeling of
Hmm.
being separate because that's what makes us feel like we need to do different or not share with each other.
Yeah. Mariella, you're so good. And you know the cards so well. Because I'm like, oh, I don't really know what this means. Even though I'm like, oh, it's like the beginning of love. Like I think Ace of the opening to obviously
Yeah,
the heart.
it's the seed.
Hmm.
You're right.
The shadow is like a time to nurture more self-love, make sure you're not repressing your emotions, and opening up to the possibility of love, which we're letting go of old connections or things that aren't aligned and recognizing that we are the love we're searching for, right?
Yeah.
Like, so that when we know what love is and we're presented with love, we can open to it when we can love ourselves. It's kind of the piece that I was like, oh my God,
Hmm.
those two go together.
Yes. And not so much looking outside of ourselves.
Yes.
He turned into stone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then the future one that I got, now it
Yeah.
was upside down, and this deck doesn't do the upside down. Um,
Hmm.
it was from the Osho deck, and
Hmm.
it is so it's the fire sign,
Hmm.
the two of fire, which would be the two of wands, I believe that is, right? Fire is
Hmm.
wands.
Hmm.
And possibilities. So it reminded me, you have a few
Mm.
cards that have like this beautiful, you had a bird
Yes,
flying.
I have a lot of oranges. Did you
Mhm.
notice?
Yeah, but you had what was the bird flying one?
This one.
And what's that one called? Taking
I'm
risks.
taking risks.
Okay. So fascinating. Ooh.
Can you
So
describe your card? I can't see it so well.
You can't see it?
Oh, it's almost
Uh,
the same but different environment.
exactly. So it's a mountain range. There's like a sunrise or sunset, and there's a bird that is
Yeah.
down, um, looking down at the ground, I guess, to see what possibilities are arising.
You know what, Alex? Can I say something?
Please.
So my card, I got it for the past, right?
Yeah.
And your card was for the future.
Yeah.
Mine looks like it's a sunset, and yours looks like it's a sunrise.
Love that. Oh, Mariella.
Do you agree? I just have that feeling. I might not be right, but just thinking of what we were, our intentions were when we were pulling the cards. And this one was talking about taking risks in the past that we need to change. But now we're going to have or take risks for the future that we need to take to move on.
Mhm. Well, like, the taking risks have helped us grow leaps and bounds as humans, right?
Yes,
There's some
we've had
consequences
so
that
much because of
came.
that.
Like, there's consequences that came because there's been a lot of damage done. And so yours does look like a sunset for sure, or yeah, sunset. And yours, he's just looking off into the distance,
Mm-hmm.
like, not looking particularly down or up or anything. But this one,
Mm,
I would say it's like a sunrise because if it's possibilities, because you can see, like, well, I mean, there's like the darkness. The
mm,
light's coming. He's beginning to look for the possibilities because he's looking down for the
yeah.
possibilities. Very well.
And you know what? Can I don't know if you can take the two of wands from your Seers deck. I think they're looking towards the horizon with one of the wands in their
Yeah,
hand and one.
I can't. I don't know if I'd be able to actually like. That'd be funny if I just.
Yeah.
But I just looked at it in the book, and that's exactly what you're describing. You have an amazing memory, Mariella,
Mm,
and
today
you're
I'm really good with my memory.
but yeah, it's not easily popping. But yeah, that's exactly what it is. There's a card in sorry, a wand in their hand, and they're looking longingly out at the horizon.
Yeah, and it is about possibilities.
Hmm.
Like I am here at the full moon in Taurus 2024 and ready to see what's out there.
So it says, yeah, so the affirmation is the world is filled with opportunities for adventure, and I welcome them into my life with planned action.
Yeah.
So it says, listen to this. The shadow side is insecurities, the fear of taking the next step, being stuck in your past, feeling worried about your abilities, opportunities for alignment. So that's the fear side. But we know planning to the future, making progress, activation, possibilities, the choice between your comfort zone and new adventures, which is all that, like all the fear that comes with something new.
Yeah.
So the possibility, and that's the future card. My gosh, Mariella.
And
Oh,
you are an amazing reader too, Alex. I love how you do it. I don't know why you don't um, promote yourself, but I would have a reading from you any day.
what do you have there? What were you pulling for?
I was pulling for what we should be glad that is coming,
Mm,
and it's the cloud and shape with shape shifting,
changing form.
and it doesn't tell us much. I think there's something we should not know that is coming that is a surprise.
Too. I think if we knew, we'd probably fear would be the response. So, and not knowing
We
circumstances.
wouldn't appreciate it.
Yeah, like think if we knew COVID was coming, we wouldn't be impacted the way that we were, right?
We wouldn't be very glad.
Mhm.
No, we would be terrified.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like maybe if we knew that we passed that after, it wouldn't be that bad. But everything that carried it was a lot
Mhm.
for many people.
Yeah, well, the unknown keeps us really present. Like, it keeps us
So
in a really aware way of how we respond to uncertainty, which I think Aquarius is really gonna show us that because it's like in this past year has been showing us this, but, this constant shifting and changing as things move faster and faster and faster with this Aquarian energy, um, because 'cause we're moving into just lots of air and fire energy over the next year. It's gonna be really fast, really transformative that we have to be okay with that unknown. And so not that we need to shape shift like to chameleon ourselves, not being fake, but like being able to shape shift and like shed skin when we need to shed skin and take a stand when we need to take a stand or step forward when we're called to step forward, even if
like a Sagittarius, right?
yeah, yeah,
Like the centaur.
yeah, heart and head of a man and instincts of the animals.
Yeah.
I
So I just go ahead.
you pulled your T cards, your circle cards.
Yes. How did you know? Did you see me?
Well, I saw you. Yeah, yeah.
And so I was just looking at the new energy and what to be excited. It's not telling me still, but it
Mhm.
tells us, well, I got the bull, and under the bull it says, do not back down from opposition, show strength and fortitude. And then young woman,
Okay.
um, February,
Ooh, okay.
flag with do not be tempted to lower your standards.
Okay.
Then March
Oh, right after February.
with, and then finally elephant. A long journey, either physical or mental, will leave you wiser at the end.
Wow. Okay, folks. So there is Mars is going to be going forward and backward 3 times, which it usually doesn't do this. And I forget what sign it's doing it in. And so it's going to be like, shock and surprise is very Uranus, but Mars is kind of explosive. It can be a little aggressive, but that is going until I believe the end of March.
Mm-hmm.
So the funny thing is like you just drew out our time until the end of March. And
Mm-hmm. So funny.
interesting. Hmm.
Yeah. And so what I feel like is saying is that can I say that we are in the light workers group?
Yeah, if we're bringing light into the world, however you call it, yeah, 100%.
So it's just telling us that we are going to carve the way.
Mm.
All the wishes that we have about a better future, about a better society, and having freedom and taking care of each other. And so the bull, do not back down. That's
Mhm.
where we're going to go.
Yeah.
And like we, it's almost like we were these young women, and at the end, this journey, which is going to be long, it's going to make us wiser. And there is that mention of February and March. It looks like it's going to be something important for us,
Mhm.
like everybody. And it says, do not be tempted to lower your standards.
Oh my
What
God.
are you standing for? And be ready to stand for what you want.
That's amazing. So when you spoke to that woman card, I
Yeah.
heard that this transition out of Pluto in Capricorn, I heard it referred to as the ending of the maiden.
Ah, that's right.
Like so that and we're like we're in mother. Like we need the mother. The mother knows, the mother cares, the mother's the nurturer, but the mother has also discernment and power. And the maiden
Mm.
is the one that is like full of life and full of beauty and like, sexual and like, all that stuff. But it's like the mother is a container of amazingness and just I don't mean I don't know it well, but I know
No. And it
actually
reminds me of Mother Earth. I wonder if something has to do with that.
oh no. Well, in a good way. But yeah, so it's kind of like the death of this risk taking, this like, oh, you you're pleasant. Oh, your phone.
Yes.
Um, yeah, this piece that is ending as we're moving out of this, like because they talk about like the rise of celebrity as you were referencing, like Capricorn had the
Mm.
rise of the celebrity of that egocentric, like look at me. We started having influencers during this time. Celebrities were the most paid. I mean, our political system has turned into this celebrity realm, right? Like, so it's the fall of this maiden, like of the shadow, I imagine, maiden and into the mother. And and that's like, you have to protect your child, the children, the earth, your creation, your values, your heart, like whatever that is. So it's like, it's so exciting, so scary. Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that, Mariella. I love
Mhm.
those cards. When you pull those out, they're always so surprising.
Yeah, it's almost like they connect a sentence.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, very cool. I feel like
Yeah.
sometimes half this audio is me being like, "Oh my God, yes, Mariella." It's amazing. But I get so excited at the end. This just like it always blows my mind and it feels on point and so, like inside it's like, yeah.
Yeah, I love our endings as well.
Yeah.
Everything is comes together.
Yeah, beautiful. Well, thank you everybody for being on this journey with us. So much love during this transition into what was to what is, which is not always easy, but will be beautiful and have all kinds of beauty.
Yeah, I can actually wait. I love what's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
it's
talk
going
to
to challenge me for sure.
you. All right. Well, everyone have a beautiful full moon transition into beautiful Sagittarius.
Yeah,
Uh,
enjoy it.
we'll see you again in December.
See you later.